There are no complaints about the durability of the paintwork, and the quality of the body metal does not raise questions, but only on condition that the car was not restored after an accident. The main feature of the pre-styling version of the car is that the hood and bumper have different shades. Because of this, many people mistakenly think that the car was restored after an accident. The front optics deserved the most criticism. After 2-3 years of operation, the reflector begins to climb, plus the optics are prone to fogging. Initially, Toyota Avensis 2 was equipped with 3 gasoline: 1.6, 110 horsepower, 1.8, 129 horsepower, 2.0, 147 horsepower, and one 2.0 diesel engine, 1.16 horsepower. At the beginning of 2006, the line of power units was supplemented with petrol 2.4, 163 horsepower, and diesel 2.2, 148 and 175 horsepower engines. If you want to buy a diesel Avensis 2, then it is better not to consider the most powerful engine, 175 horsepower, as it is sensitive to fuel quality and in our realities can bring many unpleasant surprises. Otherwise, this type of engine is quite reliable, but after 200,000 kilometers, many copies require cleaning of the EGR valve and turbine geometry. The 2.2 engine sends with a small cylinder head gasket resource. In addition, problems with the catalyst were noted on copies before 2007, pipes clogged after the problem was fixed. Also, once every 100–150,000 kilometers, a replacement is required. The thermostat, pump and starter, the brushes wear out. Among gasoline engines, the 1.8 power unit has proven itself to be the most capricious. The most common problem of this engine is considered to be high oil consumption, up to 1 liter per 100 kilometers. This is due to design miscalculations in the development of the piston group of the power unit. After 2005, the disadvantage was eliminated. Also, increased noise is among the common features of this unit and vibration during engine operation. In some cases, vibrations are caused by engine mounts, but the main cause of this ailment is insufficiency oil removal and inefficiency cooling of the pistons. As a result, the oil scraper rings lose their mobility in the piston groove. To eliminate these shortcomings, the replacement of pistons and rings, about $600 USD, is required. Another trouble that can happen with this engine in the crank bearings. A signal about the presence of a problem will be a rattling from the motor area under load and at speeds above 2500 RPM. If, when the engine is running, a diesel rumble is heard, most likely the attachment belt tensioner needs to be replaced. Plastic bushings wear out. The 2.0 engine is quite reliable, but demanding on fuel quality. The most serious damage that can happen to him is the pulling of the threads of the cylinder head bolts. This problem is fraught with coolant leaks, engine overheating and other troubles. Repair will cost about $1,000. Another surprise that this engine can present is fuel leakage from under the fuel pressure sensor O-ring. A signal about the presence of an ailment will be the smell of gasoline that appears in the cabin when the air ventilation system is turned on. The 2.4 engine proved to be the most reliable, but it still has a slight drawback: increased oil consumption, 150 to 100 milliliters per 1000 kilometers. On cars with a mileage of more than 250,000 kilometers, consumption can be up to 3 liters per 10,000 kilometers. Toyota Avensis 2 was equipped with 2 types of gearboxes, a 5-speed manual, as well as a 4- and 5-speed automatic transmission. The weakest point of the transmission is considered to be mechanics, or rather the bearings of the primary and secondary shafts. Their resource, in most cases, does not exist 100,000 kilometers of run. When the first symptoms of the disease appear, a hum appears at a speed of over 70 kilometers per hour. You need to urgently contact the service and fix the problem, since the consequences can be very sad, jamming the box at speed. Also, owners of cars with mileage over 150,000 kilometers note fuzzy gear shifting. The advantages of this transmission include a large clutch resource, more than 150,000 kilometers. An automatic transmission is more reliable than a mechanic, and with timely maintenance every 60,000 to 80,000 kilometers, as a rule, does not cause serious problems up to 300,000 kilometers. The Toyota Avensis suspension is considered not only the most comfortable in the D segment, but also the most reliable in the class. Even if the car is operated in a region with poor road surface, very often it will not be necessary to invest in the repair of this unit. The struts and bushings of the front stabilizer are most subject to wear, but even in this case, their resource average 30–50,000 kilometers front, 80–100,000 kilometers rear. Front shock absorbers and steering tips serve about 100–120,000 kilometers. Wheel and thrust bearings, ball bearings, and silent blocks can last up to 150,000 kilometers. Levers and rear shock absorbers last up to 200,000 kilometers. Toyota Avensis 2 uses two types of steering rack with electrical power and hydraulic booster. Both repairs are quite problematic and may require repair after 50,000 kilometers. Malfunctions in the rack with electric booster are manifested by clicks and a crunch when turning the steering wheel, wear of the gear of the worm pair. To eliminate the disadvantage, it is necessary to rearrange the gear at an angle of more than 90 degrees or replace it with a new one. In the power steering rack, after 100,000 kilometers, a knock appears when driving on a rough road, the plastic bushings of the rack wear out. It makes no sense to repair the rail, since this will not give the desired result. After 5–10,000 kilometers, the rail will knock again. But it is better to change it right away. Replacement will cost $900. Therefore, when choosing a used copy, carefully check the rail, and if there is even the slightest play in it, ask for a discount or looking for another copy. The Toyota Avensis 2 interior is made of quality materials and does not irritate the driver and passengers with extraneous squeaks and knocks. The only thing that slightly lubricates the positive impression of the cabin is the creaking of the driver's seats and the rapid wear of the leather upholstery of the front seats. And here, with the reliability of the electrical equipment of the cabin, not everything is so simple. The most common ailment is the failure of the fan motor. Replacement of brushes is required. Also, there are comments on the performance of damper actuators. Air flows are not distributed correctly. On cars with a mileage of more than 150,000 kilometers, cases of failure of the air conditioning compressor are not uncommon. Due to freon leakage, the compressor is wedged and the poly damper plate breaks. It is not uncommon for the onboard computer to stop displaying information on the display. This is due to the failure of the resistors. If the ABS, TRC off and VSC indicators on the instrument panel lights up at the same time, this may indicate that the battery is not sufficiently charged. If you are the owner of this car model, please describe the problem that you had to face during the operation of the car. Perhaps it is your review that will help readers of our site when choosing a car.